so nice to get out. So guys, just a Sunday afternoon ride, very busy, working 7 days a week at the moment, but certainly nearly got it under control. We'll be getting out for a few big weekend rides and a few, I guess, bigger rides, 3, 4, 5 day rides coming up through autumn. Autumn in Victoria is the best time to get out and about. I don't care what you say, it's best for camping and surfing and fishing, and yeah, I love it. So yeah, we're in autumn now, and so we'll be getting out and doing a couple of more rides. Mostly East Gippsland I've got planned at this stage. As you can see, the bike's a bit different. I talked about it in a short practical review, although it wasn't too short, I've got to say, about some of the mods and how I got this bike to a point, and I was pretty happy with it. But I was going to take it to the next level. So I've done that, and obviously you can see I've got a rally tower on here now, and I've put better indicators and put a better seat on, or a modified seat. So we'll have a talk about that stuff. I'm going to pull up somewhere, just going for a bit of a ride, and we'll have a chat and a bit of an update on that review that I did. But yeah, stick around, we'll talk soon. G'day guys, Steve from Dirt Bike ADV here. Just doing an update on a review I did about 3 or 4 months ago. This is the 2015 Beta 480. I did a bit of a history on that short practical review, the original one. Yeah, talked about wanting a lighter bike as a ADV bike. Chopped around and ended up with a Beta 480. This is a 15 model, one of the old carby models. Yeah, got it to a point where I thought, you know what, I'm going to spend some more money on it. So the first things I did, I spoke about in this previous review, was a longer range tank, comfort seat, a rack, and some better lighting, and obviously somewhere to hold your phone, which is just a quad lock or something along those lines. So I did those 4 things and re-evaluated and decided to take it to the next step. So that was where I was at the last review, and I just wanted to deal with a few things. It was a little bit noisy. I didn't like being up in the wind. The seat wasn't, even though it was a seat concept seat, it wasn't comfortable at all. It was as hard as a rock. I did not like it at all. And so I wanted to deal with those things, and just a little bit of vibration was the other one. Changed the gearing a little bit. I'm happy with that. The bike basically has no vibration. These are a dual overhead cam, so they are a very smooth bike to ride. I believe they're having a few problems with the KTM 500s because they are a fantastic dual sport bike because of the long stroking motor, but they are having problems with some of the crankshafts being a bit out of balance and them having a lot of vibration. This thing, geared as it is, loves to sit on about 108, 110. And it purrs along doing that, and there's minimal to no vibration, so I'm really pleased with that. It was just a case of getting the gearing right, so the engine was sitting in its little, its nice little spot, so to speak. Obviously, I've redone the seat. Mario at Top Line Seats down in Seaford here in Melbourne, he redid the seat, brilliant job. Just pulled out the I'm going to call it the bloody hardwood out of the seat and put some decent foam in there, some special foam that he uses. That's fixed that problem. So my gearing, my seating is really good. The noise was another issue, so what I've done was I've gone and bought a new exhaust for it, a Q4. Now I had the FMF Power Core 4 on it, and then I put a stock exhaust on it that a mate lent me, and it's still, both of those were very loud, I thought. So I got the Q4, the Q standing for quiet. And it is a lot quieter. It's still a little bit noisy, but I don't think it's enough to annoy me. If I do, I'll probably just make up a little adapter that goes in the end just to quieten it down that whisker more. It's certainly a really nice throaty exhaust. It's got a lovely note to it. I'll drop in some videos of me powering around this area. There's some great fire trails and hills to ride around here, and it's awesome fun. Oh, it's good to get out. The other thing, of course, was the wind. Now, I talked about in that previous review that I was just going to build something simple, use the existing headlight shroud and just put a little screen up here. In the end, I found this screen from Nomad ADV in the Netherlands. They made one for a beta, which was quite phenomenal, unbelievable actually. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to spend the money. That was about $1,400 Australian, I think. Might have been $1,200 to $1,400 Australian delivered out here. I did end up paying some excise from the government because it was over $1,000. So all up, I bought an exhaust and the rally tower and some bits and bobs from Nomad ADV, and it cost me just under a couple of grand Australian with the import duties and that sort of stuff. Still probably worth it. I didn't pay a lot for the bike, so I felt like it was going to be worth it, and it is. So from a perspective of wind, I'm now out of the wind. It's fantastic. So I get a little bit of hit on top of my visor on my helmet. The other thing I've done is bought another helmet too. My first helmet was just a cheap LS2, not a bad helmet, good bang for buck helmet, but they do grab a bit of wind, and so I've gone and bought an Arai XD4, so that's helped a lot with obviously noise as well too, noise and wind. And this screen is nice. If you were 6'2" above and you were sitting on that bike, you'd be up slightly starting to catch the wind, and if you were 6'4", you would actually catch the wind. But for me as a 6-footer, 1.83 centimetres, 1.83 metres I should say, I'm just below the wind, so that just sends the wind over me. Now, it has become more wind efficient. It's doing it easier. If you're sitting on the highway doing 100 Ks, 110 Ks, the bike is doing it easier. It just seems to have a little bit more wind efficiency, and I think it just parts around you a little bit better. So yeah, it actually has. I think it's probably going to have an effect on the fuel economy as well. I think it'll probably make a fuel economy a little bit better, and obviously it makes it a lot more comfortable. So I've been riding it, haven't done a trip on it yet. I've just done a couple of day rides, been really busy with work, you know how life goes sometimes, and done a couple of day rides on it, just afternoon rides like this. It's a Sunday afternoon. I worked this morning because I'm bloody so busy, but yeah, just come out to clear my head, and there's no better way than getting out into the Aussie bush and just clearing your head. Have a look at that view, it's bloody beautiful out here. And so yeah, I thought, I'll just pull over on the side of the road and have a chat to you guys about what I thought about my latest mods. I'm very happy with this bike. I'm going to keep this for a while now. It's super comfortable. I'm out of the wind. It's not noisy, and yeah, it's just awesome. So I'm glad I spent the money. So yeah, I'll be doing a couple of trips, one in about 2 weeks' time, one at Easter and one just after Easter. So work's going to get back under control again. I'm self-employed, so when you're the boss, you have to work the hardest, unfortunately. So while the boys take their weekends off, I've been working a lot of the weekends. So that's the way it goes. I wouldn't have it any other way. So a couple of weekends coming up, mostly at East Gippsland Way down the coast, and up in East Gippsland we're going to head out towards McKillop's Bridge and Delegate and those areas, and yeah, do some big days on it. But this bike is absolutely fantastic. As it sits now, it's a good little setup from a lot of perspectives. I've actually got quite a lot of tools on this bike. Beaters have a little toolkit here. There's a little space in here for their standard toolkit that fits in there nice. So I have my standard toolkit and a few little spares and bits and bobs in there that fits in there nice. Got a spare spark plug underneath. I've got some cable ties underneath the seat. But with the Nomad tower, I've been able to tie a tube in there. That's just a front tube, some levers, a little bike pump, so I can change a tyre if I want. I've got a little first aid kit, a waterproof case there, and a little plastic tub full of bits and bobs in there as well too. So bike as it sits now, and this is one of the things I like to do, with that rally tower, it's allowed me to set the bike up so I can do day trips, or when I am out, I can set my tent up, set my camp up, and actually do a loop back to the camp. So I'm not setting up the tent every single night. You can stay in one place 2 or 3 nights and do loops from where you're staying. So with those things on there, I've always got my first aid kit, I've always got my spares and tools and a tyre change kit, so that's a really good advantage of having that tower. Up until then, I either had to pull me tyre change kit off and tie it on here, or put it in my backpack, and they're quite heavy obviously with tubes in them and that sort of stuff. So that's been one of the real pluses that I worked out, that just having that tower up there has allowed me a bit of room. One downside with the tower, it has reduced my turning circle. I'll drop this footage in. I was just coming up here, had to turn around and went to just flick it round, and there was no flick. fucking turn circle's not the same. Oh dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, that's funny. That is genuinely funny. Well, there you go. That's one of the disadvantages of the ADV tail, ladies and gentlemen. I just went to flick it round and forgot. We've got a reduced turn circle now. That is funny. I was trying to turn and it wouldn't turn. Oh, well, there you go. It does reduce the turning circle, these towers, and a lot of people say the same. And I think possibly the Nomad ADV towers might be worse than others, but certainly, as I said, this one wasn't designed to go on this bike. But overall, it's a really good alternative as a lightweight adventure bike. I've done a separate video on how much it weighs. It comes in at 133 kilos full of fuel, which is a 300 kilo range. A Nerd One did a great little video on that, and so I've done that weight. And the lean, when you lean the bike over, the weight of the bike picking up dead is 42 kilos, or about 42. Some of the bigger bikes are like double that, or 80, and obviously you'd either double the weight of these things, or up around the 80 kilos, 75 kilos, and 60 kilos sort of thing. So yeah, it's a considerably lighter bike, but with that tower on, it's a very competitive bike. And I hope to do many happy kilometres on this thing and go to many places and explore lots of places. So anyway guys, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.